In the fast-paced, convenient world we live in, not many people have the time to eat right and exercise. This results in a not-so-ideal lifestyle which sees many Jamaicans packing on the pounds. It is estimated that 1 in every 3 Jamaican women is obese, while the figures for men are relatively lower. Local studies have suggested that Jamaican women are bigger than Jamaican men because women have more difficulties in maintaining an acceptable weight. So what's the reason for the difference?
We do know that between men and women there are differences, especially in physical activity, that men in general are more physically active than women. There are more men also who participate in leisure time physical activity, kicking football on a Sunday, etc.
There are several factors which will lead to obesity, but Dr. Boyne points out that the most common factors are a sedentary lifestyle and an unhealthy diet.
There is a genetic factor. A lot of people ask about that, whether it's something I was born with, if I have big bone family members, if I'm going to be big bone too, and there is a genetic factor to it. However, a lot of the rates that we see, the rapid rises in obesity, is more due to our lifestyle. And our lifestyle is what we eat and how physically active we are. So there is a concept that one has to eat a lot to become obese, but that's not really true nowadays because the food that we eat is very energy dense in that there's a lot of calories within a small amount of food. So you can eat a small amount and still pack in a lot of calories, but you don't feel full.
So how do you know if you're obese? This is determined by your body mass index. Body mass index, or BMI, is a measure of your body fat based on height and weight. BMI is calculated by measuring your weight in kilograms. This weight is then divided by the square of your height in meters, with the result being your BMI. Body mass index figures are grouped with a figure less than 18.5 being considered as underweight. Individuals who are considered to have a normal weight have a BMI anywhere between 18.5 and 24.9. Individuals with a BMI ranging from 25 to 29.9 are considered overweight. You are classified as obese if your BMI is over 30. Now that you understand the importance of body mass index and how it's calculated, you can easily determine where on the spectrum you fall. If you're like many Jamaicans who are in a constant struggle to lose weight, then it's critical to understand that diet is crucial to any weight loss program.
To reduce calories, you can use a number of strategies. Various diets use different strategies, but essentially they are all reduced in calories. So for example, you may take your calories from fat. So you reduce the amount of fat or fatty foods that you use in your diet. Some persons prefer to reduce the amount of carbohydrate in their diet. The type of carbohydrate that's best reduced is concentrated sugars. These are the additional sweeteners, sugar and syrups, and sugars in pastry and various foods like that. Eventually, what you're trying to do is to get a caloric deficit.
While urging Jamaicans to eat healthy, the consultant nutritionist also points out that it's important to pay close attention to how your food is prepared.
A lot of persons like fried foods, like fried fish. We're coming up to Easter. They love fish fried. But when you fry fish, it virtually doubles or sometimes triples up the amount of fat and consequently the calories that you get from fish. So then it's no advantage in comparing fish to red meat. It will have virtually more fat than red meat because of the frying. Or you do 2 fried items in the same meal. For example, you may be frying festival and you eat festival along with fried fish, right? That's ways of which you are doubling up on fat in your diet.
Ms. Thompson says the ideal thing is to eat a balanced meal which is low in calories with the right portions from the main food groups instead of deciding to cut out entire food groups from your diet. Eating regular meals is also an important part of any weight loss program. Being overweight and/or obese usually means you're at risk for developing other lifestyle diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, and many cancers.
Does obesity make you die faster? And the answer is yes. An obese person will live 1 to 14 years shorter life than someone who is not obese. The second thing is related to what we call cardiovascular or metabolic problems. They are more at risk of high blood pressure, diabetes, sugar for most listeners, high cholesterol levels, heart disease, stroke. All of these are tied to your rate or to your weight.
For many people, this is the ultimate push to start shedding the pounds. For 20-year-old Alex Michael Lord, developing hypertension 2 years ago was his sign that a drastic lifestyle shift was needed if he wanted to stay alive. He was forced to start an exercise routine and revamp his diet.
I don't eat rice. I cut rice out of my diet. I cut carbs. I cut my carbohydrates. And I drink 2 liters of water every day. And I run 10 laps at the boat, Uemona boat every day. When I change my diet, as in not eating any rice, I mostly eat grilled chicken and vegetable and soup.
Alex says his lifestyle changes over the past 3 months have made a big difference, and he's managed to successfully lower his blood pressure while shedding 40 pounds.
The biggest difference between then and now is that I feel more confident, and before I had breathing problems. Now I don't have any breathing problems. I breathe normally now.
With plans to lose 30 more pounds, the road ahead is a tough one for the US student, and when he has reached his desired weight, maintaining it will be Alex's next challenge. With Jamaicans eating themselves to death, is it time to save us from ourselves? But what can be done to stem the country's obesity problem?
We need to find ways within our busy lifestyles and our schedules, because everybody's very busy nowadays. How can we introduce more physical activity without necessarily telling people that you must always put on shorts and go to a gym per se, because that's what a lot of people have issues with. It might also involve food policy. The more healthy foods, which are not as associated with obesity, sometimes are more expensive than the fast food that I can run and buy a patty for lunch, so to speak. It involves the foods that are offered in restaurants. It involves the foods that are offered to children in school cafeterias. Many school cafeterias have very unhealthy food that are offered to the child.